I'm sitting here with a steel string acoustic guitar today because we will be talking about how to use a pick. We're going to cover how to hold the pick as well as the angle you want the pick to the strings and the movement for both single string playing like you're doing on an electric guitar or strumming on an acoustic. So if you're ready, let's dive in. And at the end of the video, we're going to have YouTube's smallest ever giveaway with massive bragging rights, because this is a question about my plectrum that no one has yet been able to answer. And if you get it right, I will personally send you my plectrum. I'll even autograph it for you. Starting with holding the pick, the first thing we want to do is get the pick out of our hand. Turn your hand palm up and let it be as relaxed as possible. What you'll see will happen is your thumb and your index finger will come together. That is because when your hand is in this position, the tendons pull just enough with gravity to push your thumb and index finger together. Now, if you rub your thumb and index finger together, you'll find a nice little sweet spot where the pads of both of them seem to link in nicely. That is exactly where you want to be holding the pick. From there, we take our pick, or plectrum, whatever you want to call it, and we push it right in between our thumb and finger, so it's 90 degrees to our thumb. Like if the thumb is the flagpole, your pick is the flag. The two most common mistakes here, everyone falls in one category or the other, would be either going flat on the side of your index finger or putting two fingers on the pick. Both of these are going to have the same effect of getting rid of a lot of the movement we want to use while we're playing. We don't want a really stable position with no movement, because we need movement to be able to play the string. By getting rid of this movement, we're getting rid of the tools out of our toolbox to be able to play. When you add an extra finger to the pick, it's like having a three-legged stool. It locks in place, you get rid of the movement. You see, I can't move my fingers at all. If you flatten your index finger, so you're on the side of your index finger forming that box with the thumb on the other side, again, you've got a bit more movement, moving in and out, but very little movement. We've got rid of a lot of it. You'll see if I'm just index finger and thumb, I've got tons of movement in my finger and thumb, and this is going to be essential for some of the more advanced picking ideas and even some basic things like just changing strings neatly using a pick. So to go through that sequence, you've got a relaxed hand, you rub your thumb and finger together to find that nice sweet spot where your thumb's not sticking out, your finger's not sticking out, it's right on the pad of both. You push the pick in 90 degrees to your thumb, and you want to make sure that you're holding the pick along its center line. If you're holding it too far to one side or too far to the other, when you play, it'll rotate in your hand, and this will give you a really uneven sound. So right down the center line, that way it'll stay nice and even for both an up and a downstroke. Now, a common question here is how close to the tip of the pick do you hold it? And you'll see different people doing this slightly differently because it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're playing metal music with lots of pinch harmonics, you might want to hold it closer to the tip because you'll be closer to that position of a pinch harmonic. Then swapping between a normal note and a harmonic is a lot smoother. If, on the other hand, you're playing more chords, maybe getting a bit more movement in your picking hand, then you'll be wanting to hold it a little bit further back. I think it was a video I saw of Jimmy Page playing. He holds it very far back. Both of these are going to work. The closer to the front of the tip, the more accurate you'll get. Generally, the more speed you'd get, and the more pinch harmonics, those ideas you can bring in. But a bit further back is better if you've got more movement, you're doing a few more chords, funk guitar, maybe some areas of music with that kind of sound. Now that you're holding the pick correctly, let's have a look at the angle of the pick to the string. And this is going to be across all three planes. You have the lean forwards and backwards of the pick, you've got the lean side to side, and you've got the rotation round of the pick. Let's break down each one of these. The leaning forward, backwards, and side to side is the easy one to cover. Basically, don't. If your pick is leaning forward, which you'll see a lot of people do, your downstroke will be a lot easier because there's less friction in it. But as soon as you come back up, your pick will dig in like a spade. So going down, it'll stroke over smoothly. Up, you'll kind of dig into the string. You don't want to have the pick doing it like a movement like this because it'll add tons more movement into your playing. Keep it nice and upright, moving forwards and backwards. This is where you'll get the best quality sound. The important angle is going to be the rotation of the pick. Now, this is the same if you are doing finger picking. It goes off the same physics, the same dynamics of the string. You don't want to have your pick flat on the string. There's a reason why the side of the pick is curved. And if you're playing flat on the string, using the flat of the pick, you're not getting any use out of the curve of the pick. That's designed in there for a very specific reason. You want the pick at around 30 degrees rotation against the string. If you have this, what you're doing is you're starting on the side of the pick and you're rolling over the curve of the pick to the tip. When you do a downstroke, it'll be the leading edge of the pick that plays the string. When you do an upstroke, it'll be the back edge of the pick that plays the string. You'll hear if I put my pick flat and I push, it'll get stuck and then it'll twang off the string. As I rotate the pick to around that 40-degree angle, then it'll slide straight off. Now let's have a listen to the tone at slightly different angles. I can go slightly flatter on the pick and get a brighter tone. You can hear it's on that edge of getting stuck on the string, but it's just brightened it up. Whereas if I go for more of an angle on the pick, so twist it more, and this is going to be around that 50-degree angle, you'll hear I'll get that jazzier sound as it warms up. So at around 20 degrees against the string, you are going to have that bright sound, you'll have a little more attack, and you'll be able to play a little bit faster. Whereas if you move towards that 45, maybe even 50 degrees across the string instead, your playing might slow down a bit, but you'll get a really nice warm round sound and a great tone for something slightly slower. So we've talked about how to hold the pick, we've talked about the angle of the pick against the string. Now let's have a look at your hand position while using a plectrum. When you are finger picking, your hand wants to be turned a lot more along the string because your fingers are coming in towards your elbow. The pick on the other side is going side to side. Because of this, we approach at a different angle. We don't want to be completely flat along the bridge, but you want to be just slightly angled in. You can kind of see the angle there. This way, your pick is going to be at that 40-degree angle as a middle point that we generally want to be playing at. Your blade of your hand across there, the blade of your hand, you want to have resting on any strings lower than the one you're playing. So if you're playing your third string, I want my palm resting on my fourth, fifth, and sixth string. My favorite exercise for this is start with your hand resting on the body of the guitar and then play your bass string and then slowly slide your hand forward until you rest on the string and you mute it. You don't want any movement up and down. This is just a complete flat slide forward until roughly halfway between your palm and the base of your little finger, roughly halfway between there, touches the string and mutes it. From there, you do the same on string 5. So you play string 5 and you slide forward. Then 4, 3, 2, and 1. What this exercise helps with is really feeling the angle where by changing nothing in your hand, by just moving up to the next string, the default is that you rest on the previous string and you mute it. If you're doing anything with distortion, this is really going to help control your sound and get a vocal tone instead of a mess of sounds between different notes crossing over each other. The other reason why we want a hand resting on the guitar is unlike when you're finger picking, where the back of your hand stays completely still and it's just your finger that moves, with a pick, your whole hand moves back and forth. This means we need a bit more of a reference point. If we're just floating in space, accuracy on a single string becomes really hard. By having your palm touching the lower strings, you use that as a reference point and as a pivot point. From there, you can find the string and you can play easily. Of course, when strumming the strings, this changes slightly because you have to lift your hand up because you're strumming all the strings. You can't be blocking them. So you've got your chord, your wrist lifts up, your hand hangs down nice and relaxed, and you move from your wrist to strum in a similar way to how you'd be whisking eggs. We don't need the reference point because we're not looking for single string millimeter accuracy. We're playing across all of the strings. We just want a relaxed movement that can have a nice flat plane across the strings. So now you have not only how to hold the pick, you've also got the angle of the pick to the string, you've got your hand position, you've got an exercise to play around with to get that hand position in. You're using this both for individual notes, maybe a melody on the electric or acoustic guitar, and you've got strumming hand position as well. So these are going to be the basics that you want to get in place anytime you're using a pick. And at the beginning of this video, I said there was a question that as of yet, no one has been able to answer, and I've asked thousands of people. So here is the question. I use a Dunlop Flow pick here, and the gauge that I use, the thickness, is 1.5 millimeters. Why do I use a 1.5 millimeter pick? Comment your answer below. As of yet, no one has been able to answer this, so if you get it right, and you're not someone who I've already told this to, if you get it right, I will personally send you this pick, my favorite pick, and I will even autograph it for you. Also, if you want to have a look at a video breaking down the position of your guitar, then check this video out here where I break through some of the myths and show you exactly mechanically what you should be doing. I'll see you in there.